Hello YouTubers, Randy here with another pickup video. It's been a minute, but I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've had a score quite like this. This isn't really video game related, but these are some things I picked up from the Goot Wheel. And I got them at a really good price. Okay, the first thing is the Flash Archives Volume 1 from DC Comics. Really nice edition, hardback. Originally was $50. I looked at eBay. They're going from anywhere from about 35 bucks up. But I got it for $1.51. So it'd be nice to add to my collection. Also, I got a really thick, this is Volume 1, The Lone Ranger. Actually, we used to love watching this as a kid and everything. And it was only $1.51, so I figured I'd get this to actually read. It's from a company called Dynamite, which I've never heard of. It says $20 originally. I'm not saying it ain't worth that or anything. I don't know. I didn't look it up. But I got it to read. So, and then also they had an even thicker Volume 4. So we skipped 2 and 3. I guess I get to figure out what happens there. But anyway, like I said, they're all in mint condition. Beautiful artwork in it. I mean, as you can, if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it or not. But, I mean, lots of vibrant colors and everything, and I like stuff like that when it comes to comics. I'm not a collector or anything. But, and the last one is, this is DC Comics Vertigo. It's called Sandman Mystery Theater. It's called The Tarantula. I have no idea if it's worth anything, what it is, what it's even about, but I like the Vertigo comics from DC Comics, or the Vertigo series, I guess you call it, from DC Comics. So, like I said, for $1.51, I picked it up. Alright, the next is from a thrift store. The PlayStation 2 games I'm about to show you are only $1.99, and the PS1 games are only 99 cents. So, nothing major here, but for 99 cents. The first one is SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge. Of course, you know, Andrew's a huge SpongeBob fan, so he'll probably like that one. The next one is Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Again, something probably that Andrew will play. This one is Railroad Tycoon. Actually never really played that. Oh, no, it is PlayStation. I'm about to say I messed up because it's PC. But yeah, I've never actually played Railroad Tycoon. I was a big fan of like the Zoo Tycoons and the Roller Coaster Tycoons and all that. So I think this might actually be pretty good. Then I picked up the books in backwards, but for PlayStation 1, which now that I look at it, may not even play. There's scratches on the layer side. Dang it, I checked the back side of it. But it's A Bug's Life. But again, 99 cents. Not going to be heartbroken if it don't work, if you know what I mean. Okay, then we stopped. Oh, here's the PS2 game. Sorry, I forgot about that. The first one is GoldenEye Rogue Agent. Never played this one, but for $2, hey, why not? And then Manhunt. Love that game. It was actually one of those ones that at one point was getting banned because of all the killing and stuff in it. And you actually kill somebody with a Walmart bag, which I thought was kind of cool. So, but then we stopped at another yard sale, and I picked these up. The first one is, Real Monsters, complete with emptied spider sacks. So, they usually charge extra for that. The next one is Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures, which is actually a side-scrolling Pac-Man, which is actually kind of fun. And then this is one from my childhood, and I love this game. Final Fight. They kind of made a version of this for the Genesis. It was called Streets of Rage. I'm sure y'all played that if you played Final Fight. But again, kind of a step back into my childhood. And then the ever-popular Lion King for the Genesis. I don't know why, but Lion King and Aladdin was like super, super popular for the systems. And like, these are still sought after today. Every time someone knows that I have a Genesis for sale, they always ask me for 3 games in specific. They're almost always Aladdin, Lion King, and Road Rash. Like, people don't even ask for Sonic like that. But of course I give Sonic with all my systems when I sell them, but there's that. Okay, and I'm not sure if I had this in my last pickup video or not, but I picked up just the core system, but an NES top loader. I got that. And then I got Double Dragon for the Sega Master System. F-16 Fighting Falcon, which is a card for the Sega Master System. And Ghost House, Master System, also a card. So, thought that was kind of cool. Now, everything else I got in this box right here, I picked up today. Well, I mean, except for Nintendo, I picked all this up today. But anyway, I picked this all up from one person. So, I'll start out with the most recent stuff. The ever-popular Wii U stand. And a Wii. Now, the lady told me it did quit reading discs. But the last person that told me that, the system read discs. But more so than that, it had about 25, was it, babe? Mm-hmm. About 25 Virtual Console games downloaded on it. And I'm kind of intrigued to see if this has it. But also, even out the gate, even if this is a pure brick, you can always use it for Netflix. But it's got a GameCube brand, or Nintendo brand GameCube memory card, which are actually kind of hard to come by. And I just noticed it has a SD card with a 8 gig micro SD. So, this tells me even more so, chances are there's games already downloaded on this system, because that's why you would need an SD card. Plus the fact that they told me it didn't read discs, but she specifically made the comment that, oh, we can still download games to it. A lot of people don't know this, but the games stay attached to the system. You don't get to take them with you if you buy a new. The only way you can keep these games is if you take it with you to a Wii U. You can transfer it. But again, you know, for what I paid for it, I mean, the memory card and the SD card, I probably pretty much paid for it. But it also came with a Wiimote with a rechargeable battery, which they're not Remote Pluses, but right now GameStop's paying $30 cash for Wii's with the remotes, with the regular remotes, so that's more than likely where that'll go. It also came with 2 Wii condoms, the power supply, and again, I always look at if the system don't work, like these go for like $10 on eBay, so I can always sell that and recoup my cost a little bit there. Oh, sorry, I didn't have all this ready to go. The sensor bar, which again, $10 on eBay for a Nintendo brand. AV cords, again, about $10 on eBay. And then also the charging stand with USB adapter. I usually don't like those because usually the batteries don't hold a charge, but the lady said they did. So we'll see. I'll plug them in, charge them up, see how long they last. If they do great, then hey, they're great. If not, then hey, I'm not worried about it. And then another Wiimote. So they're definitely not charged. And this is not a Wiimote Plus, but still, don't matter. Okay. Now the next, I haven't had a find like this in quite a while. Again, I've already started collecting Nintendo. I'd say 80% of this I need. So we'll start out with the actual system. It's the rare. I don't know if you can see this or not. If you can see that. It is the very first Nintendo ever made. The NES-001. The very first Nintendo ever made. You would think that like one of the developers, or maybe Nintendo themselves would have it, Miyamoto, somebody would have it like in a museum or something, but no, ladies and gentlemen, it is in my hand. Not really. That's just the model number, and there was a big thing, I don't know if y'all watch Storage Wars, but a guy found one of these in a storage unit, and he swore up down it was the very first Nintendo ever made. So people were like going crazy, because everybody would look, and they had a 001 model, which should have been your first clue. Because if he had the very first model, how did you have the very first model? But people are dumb and stupid, and they're sheeple, and they follow. But anyway, yeah, it is kind of almost a rare Nintendo Yellow. Very rare to find like this. Anyway, and it has 1, 2, 3 controllers, which is kind of nice because that dog, or the top loader one I got didn't have any controllers. Even though I'm still on the lookout for some dog bones. But then again, it has the the RF switch and the POW, or as Andrew says, the PO, or the pew pew pew. You hear that? That screams 80s. And then she hosed me. No power supply. That's alright. I got plenty of power supplies. Now this cable here, a lot of people don't realize. Back in the day when TVs came out and you first bought a Nintendo, you didn't get everything you needed. You needed one of these cables. Now what this cable is something that has nothing to do with Nintendo. It's actually just used, you know, put on a coax cable. Hook it to your cable box, your VCR. It's trash. Got a quick shot. A must-need for the ultimate flight experience with Top Gun. Because that was the most exciting game ever known to man. Why are you laughing at my feet?
It wasn't your feet. I like how it has suction cups on the bottom of it.
Yes. And you needed those because when you strap it between your legs, you don't want it going all over the place. Let me tell you, I played a lot of Nintendo in my time, and I kept trying to land that damn plane on Top Gun, the first one. But when my girl came over and I had that stick between my legs, that's all she could grab for. She wanted to land that plane too. But alas, it was Top Gun, and you just couldn't do it. It took like 90 tries to land that thing. So, yeah, I misspent childhood. Okay, and this will probably be some eBay bait, or not bait, but you know, eBay trading stuff, because the controllers are not in here. But normally these are what you can't find. You can find the controllers, but it is the double receiver for the wireless remotes for the Nintendo. And this was actually licensed by Nintendo. It wasn't Dock, it wasn't Acclaim, it wasn't, well, Mad Catz wasn't around at the time, but, you know, it wasn't one of them off-brand companies. It was actually Nintendo that made this. Now, again, probably Mad Catz, pre-Mad Catz, probably made it for Nintendo, but, you know, this is actually authentic, authorized Nintendo product. But again, like I said, people can barely find these, so, last time I had one of these, I sold it for like 20 bucks. Now, I'm not saying it's what it's worth today. It could be $5. I don't know. But, again, I'll put it up because one day I may run across the controllers. I had a controller one time, and I had it for years. I never saw this. And so finally I sold a controller on eBay for like 20 bucks. And see, had I kept it, I would have had the receiver. Of course, it's only been 7 years later, but still. But anyway, like I said, that'll go up. Who knows? Okay, and we'll start with the games. I lied, we won't. This is the ever-rare zapper gun hook. You screw this into the wall and you hook your zapper gun. Nah, really, I don't know what it is. It just looks like a bent piece of metal, but who knows. Okay. They included this for free, which I thought was kind of nice of them. It is the official internet guide. Oh, it's the America Online official internet. My bad. It's all new for AOL 4.0, and that's good because I just upgraded to 4.0. I was on 3.5, but now I'm on 4.0. Little skeptical, you know, about upgrading to Windows 95 because I love 3.1, but so far it's working out. I love Windows 95. Way better than Vista. I couldn't stand Vista, but Windows 95 is excellent. So I just upgraded to 4.0, so hopefully this will help me out. The next one is The Complete Idiot's Guide to Windows 98, which is ridiculous because I just upgraded to 95. I don't even want to look at that. Okay, now we're going to go through the games. There's a little over 200 games in here. If you can see this bin, slap full, overfilling from... No, I'm just kidding, there's not 200. There are a pretty good bit in here, though, actually. We'll start out with some of the more common titles, save the little juicier ones for the end. The first one is Caesar's Palace. Everybody needs a Caesar's Palace. The second one is Galaga. Now, I don't know why I hated it. Wait, is this the one I hated? Okay, no, I liked Galaga. Never mind, I lied. But you would think that you would get like something amazing on this being 8-bit Nintendo versus Atari, but you don't. But you know what? Now that I think about it, I think Atari was considered 8-bit as well. So, that might explain a lot. The next one is the rare, and Chris Holmes owned this. I know Chris from way back when. Me and him went to boarding school together. But I have his copy of Top Gun to go with a quick shot. Back when I lived in England. So it's crazy. Made it all the way to the States. The next one is... it's his other game. Except it says kids. One is named Chris and the other one? I don't know. Anyway, always called him dude. But, you know. Anyway, it's his golf game. I mean, it's got to be rare, right? I mean, it's Jack Nicklaus in Europe. But the American version that was in Europe, but that's now back in America, this thing has seen some waterways, people. You don't understand the value of that. Okay. The next one is the RoboCop. And I think it was his, too. It's got an H on it. Don't know. Then we have the ever elusive Mario and Duck Hunt. Now, this says Chris Holmes and then Kid. I never called him Kid. I called him Mr. Rock. So, I don't know. He told me his name was Kid Rock. Anyway, Total Recall. Next one. Apparently Chris didn't own this one. So, F you, Chris. Lunar Pool. Ooh. The Rare Ice Hockey. And a lot of people knock it. This is actually a very good game. I didn't like Blades of Steel from Nintendo, but I really liked Ice Hockey. For what it was, sports games are actually pretty decent on the Nintendo. Now, you have some of your lamers, like John Elway's Quarterback, and I didn't care for Jordan versus Bird, but like, Hoops was pretty decent. Of course, the ever-popular Double Dribble was off the hook. Ice Hockey was off the hook. Their baseball was pretty good. You know, like I said, they had a lot of good sports titles. I was really surprised. The next one is Spy Hunter. Then we'll start with some of the more rarer ones. This is Mario Brothers, the Arcade Classic series. It's actually kind of a hard title to come by. Not necessarily because it's Mario Brothers, but because it's the Arcade Classic series. This game originated on Atari, as most people know, and it was really kind of crappy. Like, you know, it was one board, you know, you had the little pipes, you had to jump, and it was kind of like, I don't know. Super Mario is what put Nintendo on the map. This game was just kind of lame. I mean, I didn't care for it too much either. If you buy any of the Game Boy Advance games, on Game Boy Advance, if you buy any of the Mario Advance games, almost all of them come with this on there. But what's weird is, this was taken to Walmart on October 29th, 1993. Someone tried to return that to Walmart. Right there, people. Can you see that? See what it says 10/29/93? How funny is that? This game came from Walmart. Someone opened it, wrote their name on it, and then tried to return it. It's ludicrous. I'll tell you. It makes no sense. But again, kind of hard to find because it is the Arcade Classics, because it really sucked. Nobody really even bought it when it was Arcade Classic. And Arcade Classic means it was probably about $20 new versus $50 new for all the other games. And like I said, they still couldn't sell it. So, okay, these are some of the more rare ones. And all but like 2 of these, I actually believe I need all of them for my collection. Other than like 2 of them. The first one is going to be Gunsmoke. This actually has a lot of personal feeling for me. It was the first game I ever bought with my own money for my Nintendo. Saved up all summer cutting grass and stuff. I was really young. Paid $50 for it. But even bigger than that is my dad hated video games. If y'all know my dad, you know he hated them. But he loved Westerns. So I bought this, and this was the only game he ever played with me. Not that my dad was a douche or anything like that. Never, you know, it was like, oh, you damn kids rock music and Nintendos and your Dan Fogelberg records. But no. But he did play this with me. And, you know, I've heard me talk some other videos about how my mom would play, like, Donkey Kong and Mario and Paperboy, Bust-A-Move, yeah, games like. My mom would play games with him. My dad, he didn't like it. Because he would play it for 2 seconds, get killed, and he'd blame the controller. But this is one game he played a lot with me, so it has a lot of sentimental value to me. I actually think this is one of the ones that I actually have. But if I don't, I'm really glad to pick it up. The next one is DuckTales. Actually, one of my favorite games as a kid as well. Got remastered here recently, released for all the systems like the Wii U and all that, and the Xbox One and all that. But I really enjoy the game. I don't have this in my collection, so I'm just glad to add that. This is another one I don't have for my collection. I'm really glad to add, and that's Metal Gear. I used to play this all the time, but I used to cheat and put in the code and go straight to the end. But later on in life, I learned that it wasn't cool just to beat the game. So I turned around and I played it from beginning to end, and I really enjoyed the game. This one I definitely know I need in my collection. They wrote on it, but I can take care of that. It's Donkey Kong 3. Now, the only thing is, it is an arcade classic series, which probably hurts this one because this was a popular game, and people bought a lot of the originals. So this is probably worth less than a non-arcade classic one. It's not like the Mario one where they only sold a few. They probably sold 10 times more copies of this as they did the originals. The next one here is going to be 2 copies of Mario Bros. 3. I have a bundle that I'm selling. I got a system that's got it's got all the Marios in it except for 3. So I'm gonna put one of those in that bundle, and then I'm gonna give one to DRAM because he needs one for his system. So I'll give him one. Okay, then Little Nemo Dream Master, another game I used to love. This one and Mickey Mouse Capade. But realistically, back in the day, Capcom really didn't make a bad game for the Nintendo. They definitely put themselves on the map. There's a lot of great games from Capcom. Mickey Mouse Capade, of course, all the Mega Mans. I think Commando and Bionic Commando or Capcom, it's sort of like Konami. Back then Konami didn't put out a crappy game. So, of course they're hosers now. But this is another one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. I'm not 100% sure if I have this one or not. If I don't, I'm going to give it to DRAM because he definitely needs it. So, this one's kind of rare too. I never cared for it, but a lot of people did. And that was Adventures of Lolo. I know I need it because, like I said, it's every retro store I go into is like $20-25. But like I said again, a game I really didn't care for, but it's got to go in my collection. This was one of my super personal favorites as a kid, and that was Maniac Mansion. What I liked about this was it was a brain game. You had to really think about stuff, and you could build a team. And however you built your team depends on how you beat the game. Like there was a science geek guy, a little looking good guy, I can't remember, there's a couple girls. But what a lot of people don't know is this was actually based off a movie called Maniac Mansion that was actually made by George Lucas, the Star Wars guy. He actually made a movie called Maniac Mansion. I forget who the lead role was in it. I don't know why Tim Curry sticks out of my head. It may not be though. But again, one of those games that I really liked playing as a kid. And last but not least, one of my personal favorites as a kid. It was hard as hell to beat, but once you beat it, you got angry at the end when you found out that the whole time it was your father who was the bastard. But it was Ninja Gaiden, or Ninja Gaiden, or Ninja Gaiden, however you want to pronounce it. But another one that I do not have in my collection, so I was very excited about getting this. So, like I said, picked all that up today except for the top loader. Like I said, a really good pickup today. I want to give a shout out to DRAM for giving me the lead on the Nintendo stuff. He was talking to a lady and, she was interested in selling it. So I went and met with her. And I think I got it at a steal. Like I said, it was priced pretty good. So anyway, like, subscribe, leave comments, whatnot. Thumbs up. Have you given a thumbs up yet? No, I didn't think so. There you go. Thumbs up. As Alonzo, what's his name? Alonzo Lorenzo?
Get a dictionary.
Get a dictionary guy. If you feel me, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs up anyhow, because you're going to.
You can't use that.
I know. It's
Alonzo Lorenzo would be
Ricky
mad.
Bobby Inc. Alright, YouTubers. Keep collecting. Enjoy the retro. Deuces.